1992 was your final year with the Expos. A bit of a transition year. The uniforms change. The manager, Tom Runnels, was fired, and Felipe Alou came in. And, of course, he had many years here in Montreal and well-beloved. You had a chance to play a little bit for Felipe. What were your impressions of him as you guys kind of came back in the second half and put some pressure on the Pirates before they pulled away?
Felipe Alou was I was lucky enough to play for him. I played 2 years in the Dominican Republic, and he was the manager. So Felipe and I had gone back a long ways, probably the earliest part of my career. So I was thrilled when Felipe took over. He was as smart a baseball man as I've ever been around, and just a tremendous character. Just being around him was a thrill for me because I just knew he cared about all the players. He cared about, the young guys coming up. He cared about the game. And he was one of the, to be honest with you, he's one of the smartest guys I've ever been around, not just baseball, but a lot of different things. So I was very fortunate to be around him.
92 was your final year there. You ended up playing some pretty decent years as well with the Dodgers and California as well. What led to you leaving Montreal? Because it's not as if they had a prototypical prospect shortstop at third base for the following year. Rather at third base, excuse me.
You would have to ask them about that because that was their choice. They came to me, and I'd been there 12 years, and I'd been there longer than anybody else had ever been there. They were going through some, we were going through some periods where we were getting rid of a lot of players. Some good young players had come up. Once it was time for them to earn some money, it was, it seemed to be sending them on their way, but. You know what? I had nothing but great memories from being in Montreal for those 12 years. It was just time, and I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to play in L.A., which is my hometown. So I was lucky enough to have a pretty good career with 12 years in Montreal and spent 4 California, close to home. So it was just time.
In 1994, of course, the strike-shortened season, a lot of people credit that for killing baseball. I recently interviewed Mark Rutenberg, one of the former Expos owners, or part owners, or minority owners, I should say, and that's what he credits as the reason the team is no longer here. From an outsider at that point, what were your thoughts on what had happened? I mean, you were still a player in Major League Baseball. You had played with a lot of those guys, Larry Walker and Marquise Grissom, and for Felipe Alou. You knew that they had the best record in baseball that year. As a player, what were your thoughts?
It was disappointing because I would have loved to have seen the playoffs come back there, but I'm sure that had a pretty good part dealing with what happened as far as the club ended up leaving it shortly thereafter. But I'll be honest with you, we were, in 94, we were just starting to play pretty well, and I hate to tell everybody there, but we were going to beat them if we got to it in the playoffs. So.
That's the great thing about baseball, or the bad thing, I guess, about that year is you never know what would have happened. Tim Wallach.
No, you don't.
Tim Wallach, just wrapping up with him here on the program, a former Expos, legend for many fans out there, including myself, growing up and watching Montreal going to the Big O without a roof. But as we wrap up here, Tim, lately there's been speculation from one of the local reporters here that used to cover the team that he had spoken with a group that's trying to bring baseball back here. And then obviously that's such a pipe dream for many, but certainly a stadium would be required and a whole bunch of other factors as well. But you look at the history of baseball, and Kansas City loses a team, they get one, and a whole bunch of other cities as well, like Seattle and Washington, and the list goes on and on. How would you feel, or is that something that you'd love to see as a team back in this city?
Well, I think it'd be great. How realistic it is, I don't know, because the game has gotten so, I guess, it's worldwide. It's everywhere. So it would work. But after the team ended up leaving, like you said, it's gone back to Washington, Seattle, Kansas City. different places back and forth, I think it would be great. But unfortunately, I don't think through expansion it would happen. It would have
Right.
to be a club that was leaving. So
Yeah.
I don't know who's not doing as well as maybe they'd like to be. But, in the end, I'd love to get back there. But how realistic it is, I don't know. But certainly you hate playing for a team for so long and no longer exists. So it's almost like it's 12 years that were gone that you spent, and they were 12 great years. So I'll never forget them. But hopefully people don't forget that there was baseball and there was very good baseball in the country.
The Nationals have reached out to Carter and Dawson, who were in the Hall of Fame. Has there ever been an attempt from on your part, the franchise's all-time leading hits, to honor you in some sort when the Dodgers play in Washington?
Not that I've heard of. They're both Hall of Famers, and that's, they deserve that. Being the all-time hits leader there, I don't know if that's necessarily deserving. I do feel like they have put all of us that were a part of the Expos and made us a part of the Nationals to a point. I haven't been out there other than when I've come up the last 2 years for the Dodgers. We were in Washington, so you felt like you were part of their organization. So I appreciate that, and I think they have made everybody that was a part of Montreal feel like they're a part of their organization.
All right, and finally, I had a chance to talk with Tim Raines recently for an article that I did, and this is something we ask of some of the former Expos that we've been in touch with. There's a 100,000 view video on YouTube called "Remember the Expos" by a local fan. He's also a hip hop artist. His name is Anakin Slade. I'm wondering if you've seen this video, because a lot of former Expos, FP Santangelo, a whole bunch, Pedro, Moises Alou, have all weighed in and seen the video. I'm wondering if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it. I'm not. When it comes to computer savvy, I'm probably on the lower half. So I don't do a whole lot of YouTubing, but I will look for it. So I'll have. What I can do is I can have my son pull it up. He'll know exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much on behalf of all Montreal baseball fans, and there's still a lot of them. We really appreciate all that you did on the field when you were in here in Montreal, and best of luck with the coaching situation in LA. Certainly, you had a great stint as a minor league manager, and now up with the club. So, congratulations to you on that, and hopefully the off-field stuff for the Dodgers will sort itself out.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Matt. And I just want to say, love the 12 years I spent in Montreal, and still have a ton of great memories and some good friends from there. So thank you very much.